his mask. And we can see more of his face. Oh, damn. She's parting the sea, man. She's like Moses. Hey, what's going on, everyone? Welcome back. We are going to be getting into some Shippuden today. Hope y'all are having a good day, good week. Hopefully not sick like I am. Y'all, this illness I have is just lingering around. I don't know what's going on. Started in the throat, came up to, I guess, like coughing. It's needed some maybe more of my lungs, but now it's just all in my head. All in my head. I'm in like a fishbowl. Y'all know what that's like, right? But the show must go on. We must keep watching some Shippuden. It'll probably make me feel a little better too, right? Hanging out with y'all is always a good time. So, but yeah, y'all, last time we had a really good wrap up to Kasame's character. I kind of hope that, in a weird way, I hope that he gets, I don't know, like that whatever he sends to Madara here, like with that kind of last effort with the information he's sending is almost like, I don't like root for Madara in the Akatsuki, but in a way I'm like, I hope it like does Kasame's character justice in his final moments, sacrificing himself. That'd be kind of a cool way to like call back to his character in the way he went out again. So but I still think that was a really interesting way to kind of wrap up his character, considering he's been one of the biggest presences of the Akatsuki all the way since Classic Naruto with meeting Itachi. He was right there by his side. So, but yeah, y'all, I'm not sure where we're going to go from here. If we're going to stay on the island, if there's more training involved. I can't wait to see more of Naruto's form. That's probably the biggest in my mind, is wanting to learn more about this, like the six paths and how Naruto can access it for the nine tail. That's the coolest thing going on right now, the most intriguing to me. And in the background, this great war is yet to start, so maybe we'll be shifting to that a little bit as well. If y'all enjoyed this one, drop a like for me, comment, subscribe to follow on for more the good YouTube shit, as I always say. Yeah, let's go ahead and watch some Shippuden together. Gonna be starting with some Madara over here. Variation. Kabuto's a strange dude, man. Ooh. Is he gonna get the Rinnegan? Oh my god, that smile, dude. Oh, back to my favorite village, man. I love the way the Rain Village looks. The big giant leaf umbrella. That thing's useful. Oh no. It's a Jiraiya toad. Oh, that's cursed. Guess this confrontation was inevitable. They buried him like at the leaf, right? With like Jiraiya and whatnot. It's gonna be a game of hide and seek. Damn, man, this is a cool landscape.
渦巻きな。奴に敗れたというなら仕方がない。長門はナルトのために輪廻転生の術を使い死んだ。俺のために使うはずだった術を使って。
Yeah, we kind of got that last time. Him asking or saying that he was supposed to be used for his own sake. Like, that made me kind of curious.
だが絶も何が長門の考えを変えたのかまでは見ていない。
Good. So that should see everything, man.
俺の話を聞かせてやった。答えを聞こう。人が本当の意味で理解し合える時代が来るとわしは信じとる。あんたたちのことを理解した。
Mindset, man.
それでもやっぱりお前らは許せねえ。やっぱり憎い。なら決着をつけると。でもエロ仙人は俺のことを信じて託してくれた。なら俺はエロ仙人の信じたことを信じてみる。それが俺の答えだ。ふざけるな。今さらジライアの言ったことなど信じられるか。本当の平和などありはしないのだ。俺たちが呪われた世界に生きている限りそんなものありはしない。なら
Man, this scene, dude.
呪いを解いてやる。平和ってのがあるなら俺がそれを掴み取ってやる。
Guys, I'm getting goosebumps again from this.
長門、どうしたの？そのセリフは。そうだってばよ。今のは全部この本の中のセリフだ。エロ仙人の書いた最初の本だ。エロ仙人はこの本で本気で世界を変えようとしてた。本の最後にこの本を書くヒントをくれた弟子のことが書いてあった。あんたの名前だ、長門。
Shook, man.
この本の主人公の名前、それがナルトだ。だから俺の名前はエロ仙人からもらった大切な形見だ。俺が諦めて師匠の形見に傷をつけるわけにはいかねえ。影になる。そんでもって雨隠れも平和にしてみせる。俺を信じてくれ。
What comes first, the belief or a peaceful world, you know?
自分が変わらないと言い切れる。これからどれほどの痛みがお前を襲うことになっても変わらないと自分を信じたままでいられるか。そう言い切れるのか。自分自身を信じられるのか。腹の中にもでっけえ痛みを飼ってる。これからだってどんな痛みが俺に襲いかかるか。でもだからって自分を信じられなくなっちまったら、主人公が変わっちまったら別の物語になっちまう。
I love that part. If a hero should change, then the story will change. You'd embody that hero.
俺は師匠みたいに本は書けねえ。続編は俺自身の歩く生き様だ。どんなに痛えことがあっても歩いてく。それがナルトだ。奴にそれほどの価値があるとでも言うのか。彼は光。だからこそみんな希望の花を持てる。
Dude, I love how their loyalty has shifted so much, like so authentically to him.
暁に未練があると見える。暁は弥彦の作った組織。この衣にある赤き雲はここ雨隠れに血の雨を降らす。
Cool.
暁にあなたが送っただけだ。この衣は私たちの正義。
Yeah, he kind of took it over. I thought he founded it, the Akatsuki. This is I guess it makes sense though. I remember them having the cloaks, in the backstory for Nagato.
彼の目はこの国の。
Yeah. Quit trying to take everyone's things.
お前は二つ勘違いをしている。どうせ最後だ。教えてやる。暁を弥彦に立ち上げるように仕向けた。
Okay, so it is more complicated.
そして因縁眼を長門に与えたのも俺だ。
What?
だから返してもらうと言った方が正しいか。俺からすればお前は何も知らないただの小麦。
What? The...
ただ今は長門の因縁眼の場所を知って。
Bro, how did he give him it? Because he had it when he was a kid.
お前を捕らえさえすればどうにでもなる。内派の動力をなめるなよ、小娘。
Oh, Konan.
数で攻め、俺が実体化する隙を逃さない気だな。何か策を練って誘っているのはわかる。勝負してやる。おか起爆札を混ぜ込んだか。
Damn, she's willing to sacrifice.
第7区でまたメンバーがやられた。そこはゲリラ戦になってきてる。今のうちに手を打っておかないと。午後から俺が偵察に行く。
長門、少し休め。お前は無理をしなくていい。
いや、でも
いいから休め。俺が行く。
I miss this theme, dude.
気をつけてヤヒ
見送りなんていい。それより長門の傷を見てやれ。これからは心配する気持ちはあいつに注げ。あいつは暁の要。これからこの国を、世界を変える男になる。
コそれはあなたも同じこと。皆あなたという人間をしたいついてきている長門も同じ。
長門は、あいつは平和への架け橋になる男だ。俺の役目は、その橋を支える柱になる。
Man, I've always really liked Yahiko.
この国は相変わらず泣いている。痛みに耐え続けている。私は泣いてばかりのこの国が嫌いだった。だが今は救ってやりたい。心からそう思ってた。泣き虫だった俺と似ててほっと。
ヤヒコ
Damn, he's a beast.
気をつけて。
平和の架け橋は彼だよ。彼の意志そのものがね。
The will.
長門。
俺たちはヤヒコを信じる。行くぞみんな。
はい。私はヤヒコと長門二つの架け橋を支える柱になる。
Ooh, his mask.
甘く見ていたな。
And we can see more of his face. Holy.
吸い込む瞬間に自爆して俺ごとやるつもりだったよ。
Let me see the rest of the face.
爆発ごと吸い込んだ俺の方が早かった。少し食らったがおかげでお前も助かったな。感謝しろ。これでお前の必作も終わりか。
あなたに一つと。
なんだ。
なぜあなたは私たちに裏切られたかわかる。なぜナルトを信じたかわかる。
さあ
Let me hear.
お前らの問題だ。しかもナルトは青臭い理想を追いかけるだけの構造、本当の平和だ希望だと。
He's got a real dream, man.
としてもコナン、お前まで。
ナルトに会って気づかされた。そいつも連れて帰んのか。ええ、このペイン天道こそヤヒコの亡骸で作ったもの。私たちにとっては大切な人。ヤヒコってそいつだったのか。お前もう暁に戻るとは思いたかねえけど。暁は抜ける。私にとってはヤヒコと長門が全てだった。ヤヒコの夢、そして長門の夢。二人の夢がお前に託された。
Yeah, they're passed on to the new one.
お前が二人の夢だ。長門がお前を信じたなら私はお前を信じる。
Man, Conan's had to be real strong to serve as the pillar between all of these different, hopes, heroes of hope and for the future, man.
ナルトって名前と諦めないど根性、それから痛み、それが師匠と兄弟子から譲り受けたもんだ。
Yeah. The bouquet, man. I love this part.
今度こそお前は散ることのない希望の花であってくれ。
Yeah, she to see two people wilt that she had faith in.
あなたは闇。光のない世界では花は枯れるしかない。
Oh, damn. Interesting. She's parting the sea, man. She's like Moses. That's sick, dude. So dope, y'all. Dang, look at that shit. She's kind of nuts.
逃がさない。
Ooh, get him.
時空間移動は失敗のように、あなたは己を吸い込むとき必ず体が実体化する。そしてそれは自分以外のものを吸い込むときより遅い。
Ooh, that is important.
空間で飛ぶのをやめて爆発をすり抜ける方へシフトしなければ確かにヤバかったかもな。
Please turn nasty. Destroy him.
5分。
これは
Huh.
もう全てが決まくんだ。
Oh my god. Konan, you're nutty.
殺すために用意したこの6000億枚の木。
Billion.
続ける。
Oh. Wait, what's he doing? He's got another one.
暁をヤヒコに立ち上げるように仕向けたのは俺だ。リンネガンを長門に与えたのも俺だ。
Dude, that second part especially like blows my mind. Like, how does that work?
長門も己の考えで動いた。
Yeah, is he just lying? Don't do this to me. Come on. This shit
彼らは
destroyed me when I saw
あなたの子
this.
なんかじゃない。
コナンと何としてでも生き延びろ。
どんな形であれ己の意志のために戦って死んだ。だからこそその意志はつながっている。邪魔はさせない。
She must have used all of her chakra for that shit.
解けた。ここまでのチャクラが必要になるとは思わなかったけど、これでマダラは確実に
死んだかな。
Bastard.
どうしてか
Oh.
何度もシミュレーションしてあの手順ならあなたを倒せたはずなのに。
He used a freaking rod just like Pain, man.
霊を失うことと引き換えに幻と現実をつなげることが
Ooh, he used the Izanagi.
内派と戦この両方の力を持つ者だけが許される同術。
Ooh, Uchiha and Senju?
それは陸道の力。
What the fuck is Madara then?
そんな力は
かつては仲間。そのよしみとして少し俺の術と俺自身について教えてやる。イザナギとは本来お前の言う陸道仙人の万物創造を応用した術のことだ。もともとは内派と戦時は一つ、その二つの始祖である。
Dude, I love the different colors of the fire.
力を持ちあらゆるものを作った創造を司る精神エネルギーを元とする隠遁の力、それらを使って無から形を作ったエネルギーを元とする養遁の力、それを使って形に命を吹き込む。美獣たちもその一つ。首のチャクラが陰陽遁の力を使う各美獣を作り出した。創造を生命へと具現化する術、ザナギ。
あなたは一体何者。
Interesting. Okay.
シャマダラ。世間では千住柱間に負けたとされている。しかし真実はどうなのか。
Yes, please tell.
本当の勝負はこれから。かつての戦いは奴の力を手に入れるためのもの。俺は千住柱間の力を手に入れた内派マダラ。仮目の陸道として今は唯一の存在。柱間の力を制御できず。
What does that even mean?
agiを披露した輩は数いたが。向こうに行ったら二人で後悔するといい。ナルトのザレ言に乗せられたことを。
It's not fooled.
場などない。希望などありはしない。
Damn true villain over here.
自分を慰めたかっただけだ。
Oh, shut up, bro.
これはまさか。
長門、あいつは平和への架け橋になる男。俺の役目はその橋を支える柱になることだ。
平和の架け橋は彼だよ。彼の意志そのものがね。俺の役目はここまでのようだ、ナルト。お前だったら本当。止むことのない雨がくれの雨がどうしたことか。
弥彦、長門、彼らの意志は消えない。私もナルトを信じてる。今度は彼が平和の架け橋になる男だと。そして私は
Dang.
だとなる。
Let's go.
長門、死んでなお私に希望を見せてくれ。私は散ってもいい花。ここであなたを。
Freaking destroy him. Almost looks like a paper wind shuriken, dude. I was about to say paper Rinnegan. That's not it.
お前は俺のことを闇だと言ったな。なら俺がお前を狩らせる。そして七色に輝くこの虹の架け橋とやらも闇の中に消してやろう。現実をかけ終わる。お前も終わり。リンネガンの場所を吐かせてからだがな。ここか。
Don't you freaking touch him.
三人目の陸道。渦巻き一族末裔の証である赤い髪。それが白に変色するほどの力を。
Oh, so he was related?
裏切ってなお俺を笑うか。
Bro, this episode is wild.
少し手間取ったな。行くか。
At least Yahiko gets to rest. Interesting.
一番右がコナン、中央がヤヒコで左が長門のものだ。
Here are the frogs. What the heck?
カエル板。
裏は白になっていて、だより板はひっくり返る。
Oh my god, dude, trying to look so ridiculous. Aww.
アジトの中にいるときは板を赤にし、排出するときはこれをひっくり返して白にしてから出かける、帰るという合図になっている。
いや、なんすかさっきから。ママ仙人だから多めに見てるだけっすよ。このカエル推し。
でもなんでそんなことしないとダメなんですか？
この辺りはまだ治安も悪い。いつこの場所が狙われるかもわからん。実はな、アジトにいる時が一番狙われやすい。居場所がバレバレの分、奇襲などをかけやすいからの。
つまり板が赤のままなのにアジトにその人がいない時は敵にさらわれたと。黒なのに部屋にずっといるってことは変化した敵って可能性も考
Yeah, smart Konan.
がすぐにわかるってことでしょ？
そんなところだ。よく理
It's like a little code.
俺だって分かってましたよ。なんとなくだけ。
Aww.
とにかく4人だけの暗号として各々存在確認を常に意識しておく。アジトにいる時も気が抜けない状況だってことだ。さらに一応地下の角そこから外に出る抜け道も作っておいた。
So shinobi, dude.
何かあった時はここから逃げろ。ちなみにお前らの後ろにあるのがわしの板だ。
Jiraiya, the OG Toad. The little tiny frog running out.
本当に分かってんのかな。今回はさっき先生がやっててくれたけど。
俺はもっともっと強くなって飛んでもってこの国を変える。
国を変える前にまず変える。わしもさっきあんな顔しとったのかの。いや恥ずかしいの。ほう、紙手裏剣を封筒で加速させてきたか。しか
Rosingon.
まだだな。系のタイミングももっと早めるんだ。いただきまーす。
Itakimasu. Dude, that's a huge crab.
そっか。
That was the best claw.
ありがとう、先生。
I like how they continue to use it after Jiraiya left. Ooh, did they love each other? Interesting. Nagato's happy. Damn, that makes Yahiko's death even more tragic for Konan. Headshot. Ooh. Oh, I thought that was Madara for a second.
雨隠れの長暗将軍の半蔵。リーダーは誰だ。ヤヒコだ。暁のヤヒコ。覚えてお
You sure did.
ヤヒコ。
どういうこと？
半蔵も俺たちに一目置いたっていうことだ。組織も大きくなってきた。アジトも移らないとな。
こことも今日でお別れね。
ここで俺たちは変わった。
Yeah.
力をつけた。全てはここから始まった。俺たちは夢の実現のためにここより出発する。そして
So you gotta leave home eventually.
どこへ行った。
Damn, just in time. Jiraiya's last gift.
この国らしい感じだった。さあ行くぞ。長門、コナン。俺たちは夢の実現のために。
Aww.
そして俺たちの夢が叶ったら、たとえバラバラになっていたとしても、いつかここへ帰ってこよう。
That's heartbreaking, man.
ああ、ならその時はジライア先生もここに呼ばなきゃ。
ま、そうなるか。
Oh, so sweet, y'all.
手こずっただけあっていい目を手に入れたね。
What the hell?
ほら、これも届いたことだし。
それは
貴様からの
Okay.
キュウリの居場所も分かっていろいろと状況はこちらに傾いている。
へえ。
But they don't know that Kasama is dead, though? Bro, he literally looks like the Ten Tail. Oh, screw you, dude. Damn, dude. That was a crazy set of episodes. I really like the feel of it, but we got like a lot of information, too. That was nuts, y'all. I'm like, I'm not gonna lie, I'm a little confused on the whole energy thing with the shadow and light of the six paths and how Madara has Senju in him also. Like, maybe that's part of the mystery of who he is kind of thing, or what happened between him and the first Hokage. But I don't know. I'm gonna go back and watch it a couple times before I do the review section, see if I can understand a little bit more. But might need some help from y'all in terms of how that all works, at least at this point. Obviously, don't give me any information I don't know about. But yeah, dude, what the fuck is Madara? Y'all, we even get to see more of his face, and he doesn't look like his original form with his whole spiky hair. And obviously we've seen his hair is a lot shorter here, but like, I don't know, it's just weird, man. All right, y'all, let's go ahead and get in the review section. Really juicy episodes. I was not expecting the confrontation between Konan and Madara or Toby here to really have this much kind of cryptic information about the Akatsuki's origin, Sage of Six Paths, or the power of Six Paths, tying back to the will to find and hope and peace. Lots of really good stuff here. I think something that is kind of becoming more clear to me is the sinister and manipulative darkness of Madara as a antagonist. I think there's a very clear attempt here for him to manipulate the legacy of Yahiko and Nagato and the Akatsuki as a whole. He seems to have kind of, he's kind of claimed that he's started the Akatsuki, and I think we've heard other characters claim that he started the Akatsuki too, but from what we learned from Konan here is that Yahiko was really the founder of the Akatsuki, and that Nagato was the Sage of Six Paths reborn kind of thing, right? We got some of that before from Jiraiya, but here Madara kind of throws a curveball. Is like, no, I was the one who influenced Yahiko. I told him to start the Akatsuki, and he says that he gave the Rinnegan, or the power of Rinnegan, to Nagato. Both very interesting things. I think Konan kind of denies the first one, especially that Yahiko was influenced by Madara to start the Akatsuki, when in reality, Yahiko started the Akatsuki to fight for true peace, to bring peace to the Rain Village, right? And so in some ways, Madara's trying to twist the narrative about where the Akatsuki came from. And he kind of hijacked it, right? Like Konan described it as riding on the coattails of Yahiko, but he kind of hijacks it, and maybe we'll get more of that eventually, of maybe after Yahiko died and Nagato was in so much pain and kind of transitioned into pain, that he kind of hijacked that dream or that will from the Akatsuki and kind of manipulated it into this plan of more of control, to control people's human nature through the tail beasts, powers, these weapons that Nagato was trying to create, or Pain was trying to create, and now more so of this Tsukino whatever project where he's going to control everyone with that ultimate genjutsu, right? So it seems like he's like trying to control the narrative of history here. But what's most interesting to me in that is like the whole like Rinnegan power, right? Like he claims that he gave Rinnegan to Nagato, but we didn't see that. We saw Nagato awaken his Rinnegan when his parents were killed in front of him. So I think that's a lie too, unless like he's kind of saying that he like indirectly created this situation where the Rinnegan was reborn. And he even says that Nagato was the third Sage of the Six Paths, and that Madara was the second. And that's the whole craziest part, was this description of how Izanagi, Izanagi, the power that saves him, the one that we saw Danzo use, can only be used by someone who has both Senju and Uchiha blood in them. It's only capable of being used in that case. So, or maybe you have to have both, I guess, physical forms. So, like, for example, Danzo from the Senju clan seemingly has the Uchiha eyes or the Sharingan on him, so you can use it. But in this case, how does Madara, obviously he has the Uchiha eyes and he has Uchiha blood, how does he have the Senju power, the power of light style? How did he get that? And he claims he got it from the fight with the first Hokage. And he, alludes to, once again, kind of this, what's the truth in the tales of history here, where he's trying to misdirect it through what the Akatsuki and Nagato and Yahiko's will was, and the world knows the history of the fight between the first Hokage and Madara as Madara being the loser and has died. And we know that's not completely true because Madara is alive, or some form of him is alive to this day. But we also don't know this side of the history that he claims to have stolen some of this power from the first Hokage. The first Hokage's Senju blood or physical form. What did he do that allows him to use both the shadow style and light style in Izanagi? Really, really interesting, y'all. Like I said at the end, I don't fully understand it, but it makes sense. The shadow style seems to be the mental energy, more of like the Genjutsu, Uchiha, Sharingan type abilities, and the light style, the physical energies, kind of instilling life in things, seems to be a lot more of the what Naruto has, especially, or the Uzumakis have, / the Senjus. I guess Senjus and Uzumakis are connected in some way. But it makes me curious. The Uzumakis, they're not directly Senjus, but like maybe they're like a branch of both the Senju and the Uchiha clans, right? Or those bloodlines that split from the Sage of Six Paths, because it makes me think about, the Sage of Six Paths seems to be somebody who has both, right? Senju and Uchiha powers or blood in them. And we see that Nagato had the red hair that I guess usually shows the lineage of the Uzumaki clan. And he had Rinnegan, and so he was the Sage of Six Paths. So in theory, he could, he had both the Senju and the Uchiha blood in him. Is that what it is? That the Uzumaki is a combination of the two? That would be really interesting. I'm kind of like theory crafting as I'm going here. But that would explain why, he could be, use the Sage of Six Paths power, and kind of had that Rhine of Rebirth, which I guess probably seems more of a Senju power, right? To give life to people. And we see Naruto as he unlocks the Nine-Tail power, that he uses the Sage of Six Paths power to, trap the Nine-Tails or seal the Nine-Tail with that power. And he has all the commas on him. I'm kind of thinking, like, does that come from the Nine-Tails power that connects him to the Senju clan, or is it the Uzumaki blood in Naruto? Now that I'm thinking about it and kind of theorizing this here, maybe it could be that. Really interesting, y'all. A lot of times I come up with these theories as I'm taking notes. This time, y'all are seeing it live. But yeah, man, I really love the, kind of the central, reiteration of our themes of kind of passing down the will. The Leaf Village and the will of the fire has always been a crucial theme, but especially in the Pain arc, and who Pain represents, Nagato, and how Naruto's embraced the will of his master and his fellow apprentice here of Jiraiya in Nagato. He's kind of that bridge now, the present day bridge. And we had this whole kind of narrative on Nagato being the bridge and Yahiko being a pillar, but really Yahiko was the first bridge. He bridged the dream of peace to Nagato and Nagato's power as the Sage of Six Paths, so the second or third, depending on, I guess, your opinion, to be that next bridge towards peace. and then passing down that will to Naruto. In reality, Konan serves as this pillar of all of them to kind of protect this legacy and will of all of these different great shinobi who are seeking peace and maintaining their faith and hope that there can be peace. I thought that was a really good way to kind of connect everything together. And at this point, Jiraiya, Yahiko, Nagato, Konan, and Naruto are all goats. Man, they are, in terms of, you know, what embodies the possibility of peace in the world, of morality that can create a better world that we as humans should all hold ourselves to. You know, they flash back to the whole thing about the tales of a gutsy ninja and who that hero is supposed to be and what the hero needs to embody to find peace. You know, I think it's something that, you know, I've talked a little bit on the channel before, but like that faith, you know, maybe that's what has to come first, and why religion is such a big thing in life, in present life, and then obviously in the story. You know, maybe religion is not the right word for it, but like that spiritual belief, I guess. But it just makes me so curious about kind of the battle of good and evil in all of us, of like, hey, like, you can succumb to your nihilism about human nature in the world around us, the imperfections of the world, but that's almost like giving up the faith and hope that in goodness, right? And the goodness that we all do have in us. If you focus on that light instead of the darkness, then you can, and maybe not, you know, don't push the darkness down or deny the darkness. No, it's there, but, you know that pain that's there, but instead continue to live through your light instead, and that can bring out a better version of yourself, and in turn, you know, inspire the world and the people around you to go towards a more peaceful world. It's never going to be perfect, but maybe it's the way that we all move towards a better, lighter world together. Yeah, I really love the whole narrative that Kishimoto has been writing throughout this whole series through these themes. I think it's only getting stronger, kind of connecting and adding more pieces to it, and especially with Madara representing that darkness now coming into the picture, or more forward in the story, it's becoming even more interesting to think about. Let's go ahead and do the character ratings. We'll talk a little bit more here. For the MVP, I'm going to give it to Konan, our pillar, upholding the wills and dreams of Nagato, Yahiko, Naruto, Jiraiya. Such an important foundation for them to all be able to, you know, live through their will, their free will, to have someone to support them. I think it's an underrated position to have for, you know, just people who are kind of leading the charge. They always need good people to support them, to keep them on track, to help them keep their faith. No one keeps their faith just alone. We all need people like Konan to help us while we're, you know, living through our will, but then also, you know, protecting the legacy, right? There's always bad actors who are trying to manipulate the legacy of people or the history of the truth of the world, like Madara is here. For the best moment, I'm going to give it to Konan as well, in the last scene with her going home with the red bloodstained paper, and going home to rest and celebrate with the rest of her family, of Yahiko, Nagato, and Jiraiya. Yeah, it was really bittersweet, really sad to see, but really beautiful too. You know, I really loved the imagery there, connecting it back to their whole like system of the frog side and the red side for when they're in and out of their home. And obviously a lot of time has passed and people have died, but now they're all resting back at home. I love that. For the funniest character, I'll give that to Jiraiya in its silly toad outfit. Him and Yahiko together especially were really funny. And then for the Sako, we'll give it to Madara and his darkness, and just what he represents as darkness. That's what Konan learned from meeting the light Naruto, is that the opposite of this is Madara. It's the darkness. It's the lack of faith, the lack of hope, the lack of trying to manifest or believe or come from a place of faith to embody that hero. He's the opposite, the antagonist or the villain archetype here. Really, really good, man. I can't give Kishimoto enough props for his character designs and writing and the embodiment of his characters. I think they all do such a good job of like what they represent in the story, and also just like in terms of like life itself, or just archetypes and stories in general. He does a really good job with it. But now Madara's got the Rinnegan. He ended up finding the body. I guess Nagato wasn't actually buried with Jiraiya. I kind of forgot about that. That was a little confusing. But he's got the Rinnegan back, quote unquote. I hope they explain that a little bit more. Let me know if I'm like misinterpreting anything, y'all, but that's kind of how I think about it, is that it's not really that I gave him Rinnegan. It's more that like he was the second official Sage of Six Paths, because he took the Senju power from the first, and then this real Sage of the Six Paths, the real born in Nagato, the third one, kind of stole the spotlight from him or something. I don't know. I'm very curious if they'll elaborate a little bit more on that. So yeah, y'all, really good episodes. Let me know what y'all thought about this one. I hope y'all enjoyed the reaction and the analysis here. If you did, drop a like, comment, all the good stuff. Definitely comment that rigs that algo for me. And also, just selfishly, I love to see y'all's comments. Honestly, more so for that than the algo. Although the algo would be nice, so we can get more of y'all here. I hope you all have a good rest of your day and a good week, and I'll catch you for the next episodes. Peace.